Welcome back, everybody. If you subscribed already to my channel, welcome back. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I try to put out at least one video a day. Today I'm actually putting out 3. Today we're talking about cryptos, but there's various topics that the channel talks about. Basically, the overall theme of the channel is ways to create streams of income and to create that financial freedom and that wealth generation that you're not going to get by just working a 9 to 5. Anyone that wants to become financially free typically has to do something outside of work to generate some extra cash, and I show you ways to do that. In addition to what you're currently doing, you could do this on the side and attain your goal of financial freedom or whatever goal you might have. Maybe you just want to create some extra money to go on vacation, whatever it might be. So consider subscribing to my channel. Click the little bell. Please like, share, and comment, and help the algorithm get this out to more people. So as you noticed here, I put out a video earlier about Cardano. I recently put out one for Bitcoin, and now I'm going to work on talking to you about Ethereum. I'm having some technical difficulties with my laptop. Every time I try to encode my video, my laptop shuts down. So it's been a little bit of a process of getting videos out quickly. So I apologize for delays, but again, this channel and these videos are educational purposes. They're not meant to be signals. I just show you how you can approach technical analysis on the various commodities and cryptocurrencies or forex pairs, whatever they may be, and then you can apply your own approach to that to figure out what you want to do next. So let's move into Ethereum. These are, like I said, these are the 2 that we already talked about today. I showed you how pitchforks can be used and how that pattern showed up. And now let's give an update. Let's update our chart regarding Ethereum that we've been talking about over the last couple days and weeks. So this is what we currently have. As you can see, most of the price targets have been hit from this breakout of this wedge. Now we're just kind of ascending up here, and on the lower time frames you really can't see any type of patterns. We're close to getting the actual target of the bigger pattern back here, and what I want to show you now is what you can do is, since the lower time frames, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, not really showing anything of interest, what you got to do is you got to take a step back and you got to go out to like the daily. So when you go out to the daily, you can really kind of see what the overall picture is, and from there what you can do is see what the bigger picture is. So here I see another triangle forming. If you take this pivot high and you go down to the pivot low, and then you come back up here to this pivot, and you kind of just figure out what's the best fit down here. So you touch as many, and you touch these 2 points up here. You can kind of see in the bigger picture you're within another triangle. And from there, by knowing that, you can set a new price target based on the way you figure that out for these patterns. It's just basically from the high to the low of these touch points. So you take that, and now you figure out where it might break out, and then you place it. Now, these white lines here are resistance lines. So as you can see, it's kind of like fighting a resistance area right here. And then the next one's going to be, of course, the all-time high. But when you figure out the pattern target from this new pattern that showed up on the daily, you can see that the target's 2,500. And I've heard other YouTubers talk about that, but it's kind of interesting just to find that pattern that just kind of showed up now with this pivot is actually kind of talking about the same target. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen, right? So even though other patterns are not showing up right now, you could still put you can go from the high to the low here, and you could kind of put a pitchfork and kind of just guide it around until you start seeing some touch points. Maybe what you should do is maybe touch that one there, and then yeah, look at that. Look how those kind of a lot of touch points right there. So you could kind of use this maybe as a guide of the upward channel of where price action can go. You can see a nice touch there, a nice touch there, a nice touch there. This one wicked out but came right back in and stayed within. Same with, well, this one not really. It's a little out. Low to high, high to low, previous low. Yeah, so that's, you can consider using this one or this one, and you can kind of get an idea of where things might be headed. As I mentioned, off these pivots, there's an 80% chance that it's going to hit the median line. If you go down here, you can see that the median line was hit. This right here, what I have right now shown here, is really the overall major pivot that we should be measuring with this pitchfork. So again, this is on a daily time frame, so this is a big time frame. And again, you should just kind of, right now you only have 2 touch points here. That's all you can really go by, and you can use that as a guide. And as you see more price action, if more things happen, if this comes down and respects this again, you kind of know that this is a good trend line to fix. Although right here, this other trend line here, so if depending on what you see going on, and you might see something. Let me take off this magnet. And you might end up seeing something like that, since this is a trend line and it's been met. But you got to wait for price action to kind of develop a little bit more. All you got is a kind of a pivot here, and then 1 touch point. If you use this one as the pivot, you got a couple touch points here, something along those lines. That's probably what I would leave for now until you see what's really gonna start shaping up in terms of price action. So that would be my opinion. I guess you can argue that this triangle, and it's not enough touch points. If you come all the way down here to this wick, you only got 1 touch point. So you really gotta use that. You gotta use this one right here for the triangle, and kind of just tweak this to touch as many of these as you can. So that's a nice triangle. Then again, just kind of going the same way. Use that same pivot, since it's the triangle's formed on it. It makes sense to kind of stick with that for now. But anyway, this gives you kind of like a little bit of a channel to see what's going on. And then what you can do once you have these laid out on the higher time frames, you can come down on the lower time frames and really, kind of see the details of what's really going on here. So really what you want to do at this point is, if you're not already in a trade, you're going to want to wait to see this break out. So depending on where it breaks out, like I said, I just randomly picked that spot, but it does have some I mean, if we're going to see another bounce down here and then back up, then this is going to happen down here a little further, right? So you got to kind of just figure out where you think the breakout's going to be, and you got to just wait. You got to wait for the breakout to happen. You don't want to do any trading right now. If you're not in a trade, don't get into a trade right now until you see which way it's going to go. Now, everything in the news and everything that's going on seems very positive, but again, when there's a lot of obvious positivity, a lot of times manipulation happens in the other direction. So you got to be careful. If it's so obvious to go in one direction, either it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, everyone does it, or they trap you and they go in the other direction. So you got to sit back, you got to set up the trap, and you got to wait for it to happen. So this is a high time frame. The higher the time frame, the more probability the pattern plays out. I guess what you could also do is, when you're on this bigger picture, you could take a bigger picture pivot, Fibonacci retracement, and kind of see where you are. And we've kind of already touched off the 0.5, and we're headed back up. So I really think we're going to be heading back up. And then the last thing you could do is kind of take a Fibonacci retracement extension, Fibonacci extension, fib base, no, not time, fib base extension, and you go from here all the way up to the peak, all the way down here, and then you could start setting some targets. So you know, if this is the move here, it's A, B, C, D type thing. It looks like it's going to go up to here, you know, according to Elliott wave type theory. You know, the wave 1 to 0 to 1 is equal to 2 to 3. You know, so that's, if you want to draw that out, I think we did this already, but I'll show you real quick. If you want to draw out the Elliott wave, you're going to draw it something like this. And this is going to go, this right here has to at least go to 1.0. Has to go at least, it has to be the same distance as the first wave. And then the retracement has to, at worst case, has to stay above wave 1 and then wave 5. You kind of figure out, oh, this is kind of cool. Let's just move that in there. Let's assume that it's going to respect this channel that we kind of drove up with the, what do you call, with the pitchfork. So let's keep it within that channel. Let's see where it would have to go. 1618 is a typical target. So looking like August like $3,500. That's what typical Elliott wave says, and this is where we are in wave 2 to 3. Again, you should have been in a trade down here. If you were going to play this pattern, you know, it might give you a second chance to get in when it comes back down here to bounce off this trend line down here on the bottom of the triangle. And then, you know, the next target is anywhere between 1.0. I mean, it could go higher than that, but at a minimum, to respect Elliott wave theory, wave 2 has to be equal to or greater than, it's often the longest but never the shortest. So it has to be equal to or greater than the first wave. So that's why at just knowing how far up it could go, you know, to respect Elliott wave, we have a target that should be somewhere around here, 2,700. And then the retracement, you know, the retracement could be deep or shallow. This one was a little deeper, so, you know, when you figure out the Fibonacci on the second wave retracement, you figure this out. It doesn't necessarily have to come all the way down here. I mean, it could just come up here to 38, and really it doesn't even have to do that. It could just, you know, 23. It just depends how strong the you know, the trend is. But this is already 50% or lower, tends to be a deeper retracement. So if the first wave is deep, second one's usually not deep. If the first one's shallow, second one's a little bit more deep. It's usually they flip-flop. So so again, this is just a roadmap. I'm not saying this is how it's going to play out, but you know, using the pitchfork will give you a channel. Using Elliott wave theory analysis and kind of like a way to estimate what the next wave 2 is going to look like. You know, if you assume it stays within this daily time frame pitchfork, then we set that target up here to stay within those bounds, just as an estimate. We don't know. We don't know how fast it's going to happen. It might go up here within the next day or two, but then this pitchfork is gone. That's fine though. But until you see what's happening, if it comes up here and it respects it and it's bouncing around in here, then you know this is a good pitchfork. But we haven't had any touches on the upper bound here, so we don't know yet. We're just kind of laying it out and seeing what price action is going to show us. So it's really just a way of laying out a possible roadmap. And every day or however often you want to go into the charts, you got to come back in and you got to tweak this. You got to tweak this, and that's what I'm going to be showing you from day to day. Again, you know, right now, the immediate feature, we have a triangle pattern here. Let me just turn this off for a second. Let me just get rid of some of these. You know, right now we have this triangle pattern that's forming If, we have 2 touches on the top, we have a couple touches on the bottom. This is becoming a pretty good trend line on the bottom here, and we only have 2 up here. So got to see what happens. Does it come back down here, or does it just kind of do a little retreat and blast out? And you just got to set that trap. I'm not sure if this is, I'm not sure what, oh, that was for the little one. Oh, here's the big one right here. So you got to figure out where you think this is going to happen. And again, let me turn on the object list. Pitchfork? I think it was this one. Yeah, that. So if you want to think about the pitchfork again with this target, you could kind of see, well, maybe it's going to go all the way out to the end here before it goes, and then that'll keep it within the bounds of this pitchfork. So we don't know. So we're just sitting back. We're waiting for price action to show their hand, and then based on what they show us, we know if we should fold or go all in on a long, or go all in on a short, whatever it may be. It's kind of like game theory, right? You're just kind of like playing the what ifs, and whatever the next move is, you have your strategy and what you're going to do, and that's all you really can do. You don't want to go in blind. Like right now, you don't really want to go in because we're right out of resistance area. Chances are it might come down a little bit, but once it retraces, even if you want to get down to just the most immediate pivots, if this is the most recent pivot, what you can do is you could just take a Fibby from there and start seeing where are possible times to come in. And ideally right here, this 0.5 to 0.55, if it actually plays out, I mean, it'd have to come down hard and fast to stay within this triangle and not break it and get down to the 618. So more than likely, it's going to work its way slower down. It's probably going to bounce. If it's going to come down, it's probably going to bounce off the 0.5 or the 0.55. And again, not financial advice, but somewhere in this range is where you would consider dollar cost averaging or getting into some type of position. Realistically, if it happens fast, it could touch it down here. I mean, it could wick out of here and touch this. As long it's going to probably bounce off quickly and come back in. So this is the range. Again, I kind of showed that to you in the last chart. Is that it? Let's go back here. I just want to copy something that I did over here. Oh, must have deleted it. I thought I put an entry over here. Anyway, I don't know what happened to that. Thought I had a box made. It's not on this one, I don't think. No. I'm not sure what happened with the chart that I had on the other. I thought I had it on Bitcoin of a range. I thought I did something like this. DCA entry area. Thought I had that on the other chart, but it got deleted somehow. But anyway, if I were to be waiting for an entry, right now, this is where I would think about getting in. For me, you got to decide what's good for you. But again, this is what you got to do. You got to come in, you got to look at the charts, and you got to set it up, and you got to just wait, set the alarms. When you get more accustomed to how to use TradingView, you can, you could come in and put a horizontal line, and you could put it right at the 0.5 or close to the 0.5, and then right click, add an alert, crossing down, once per minute, boom. Now you can walk away from your charts, and when price action comes and hits your alarm, it'll let you know that, hey, it's at the point where you wanted to do something. And then if you're looking for the breakout, come up here and you just draw a line over here, set an alarm, crossing up, once per minute, create, and now you got an alarm for the breakout. You don't have to sit in front of the charts. As long as you have this open in the background, it'll send you an email or send you an audible alarm on the computer, and it'll let you know it'll pop up and it'll say, Ethereum USD, and then to go look at that chart. So I'm gonna turn these off because I don't want to be woken up. I'm already in my positions. Actually, I'll leave these here. I'll leave the lines there, but I'm gonna delete the alarm. But so that's how you set the traps for the price action, and then you just wait. So that's all I really got to say. There's a lot of good news about Ethereum. There's a hard fork coming up in July to make Ethereum deflationary. The gas fees are going to be a portion of the gas fees are going to be burned. Gas fees are going to be reduced. It's going to get a little cheaper for the retail, cheaper and lower dollar investor. The institutional funds that are throwing around millions of dollars. Gas fees are not that important to them. But for someone trying to trade $100 worth of Ethereum and the gas fees are $40, then it doesn't make it cost effective to do that. So July is a very positive moment for Ethereum. I think, like I showed here. Let's see where we are. May, June, July, yeah. So in July timeframe, if things play out, certainly can see some momentum happening in July. And then just realize, I mentioned this in the past, this 5 wave becomes the first wave of the next one. Just realize that. This is just wave 1 of a bigger fractal Elliott wave. Alright, so with that being said, I'm sorry for the clutter on the chart. Just go back and watch what I'm saying. But basically right now, the immediate term, just look at this triangle pattern on the daily, wait for the breakout, and decide what you're going to do for yourself. Okay? Alright guys, a little longer video than expected, but I think good information for you and good techniques and ideas for you to do your technical analysis and learn and continue putting the hours on the charts. The only way you're going to get good at this is if you put the hours on the charts. There's a saying, to become an expert on anything, you got to put 10,000 hours of effort into the technology or the area that you're studying. So just realize it's going to take time. Don't get frustrated. What you see me doing here may look like second nature, but it's a lot of time on charts that's been invested where I could see these things. So just start chipping away. Be consistent. Be persistent. And the only person that's going to stop you from succeeding is yourself. So just keep a positive mindset. Realize you can do it as long as you put your mind to it. And I wish you guys all the best. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click the like button. Click the little bell so you can get notified of a new video. And tomorrow I should be putting out a couple more videos. One on the other opportunity that I have. I'll have enough money from profits to compound the account again. So I'll show that process, and look forward to having some comments in the video. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. What coins. I'll probably cycle through. Maybe I'll start with Chainlink tomorrow since I didn't get to it today. Let me just take a quick look at it with you, see if there's anything obvious. But I'm not going to make a video tonight about this. I mean, we're bouncing through our targets here, slowly working our way up. Again, I think the bottom's in. It's working through another little mini fractal of a Elliott wave, or 1, 2, 3, 4 wave. And I think the next area of contention is going to be this 37. So maybe by tomorrow we'll have more information. I don't see anything really obvious here to talk about right now, but we'll talk about this tomorrow. And put it in the comments if there's another coin you want me to talk about. I do have another portfolio, I think, set up here. Oh wow, I got some more. I got this one too. Alright, so I'll continue cycling through here tomorrow I'll do link chain, and I'll start going through some of these, and then we'll come back to the first couples, because if I keep doing the first couples, then we're never going to get to new ones. This one kind of looks like a Voyager might be forming some type of wedge or a triangle formation here. So take a look at that on your own, see if you could chart it up and compare it to what I do tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, take care. I'll see you guys soon on my next video, and like I said, please subscribe, like, share, put this on social media so other people can see it. I'd like to really try to build my subscriber base and continue sharing value to you guys and showing what technical analysis I know. And by you watching my channel and some other channels on YouTube, you can get better at technical analysis without paying for courses and things like that. You could certainly learn this on your own. There's enough resources on the internet and on YouTube where you don't have to go and pay somebody for courses. If you require a like a class setting, then that's a choice you got to make. But if you're a self-learner and you could do it on your own, then there's enough resources out there for you to learn. All right, guys, take care. Wish you guys all the best.